Coming into this year, I had a few things that I really wanted to see God manifest in my life. And the two main things were a new career and joining a church. I was in service and the Spirit of God was moving and the anointing was on Pastor, and he began to prophesy, but it wasn't to a particular person. He just began to say, God is saying some of you have gotten too comfortable. You got too comfortable in your jobs and you've become complacent, and God's saying he's been trying to move you, but you're just too comfortable. And God said it's time for you to move. And then he kind of paused, and it was one of those pauses like he was really hearing from God. And I'm like, what is going on? It kind of threw me. And all of a sudden he said, even if you work for the government. And right in that moment, I just, it was like an arrow pierced my heart. At that point, work was impeding into my personal life. I just was miserable all the time. And I was just so ready to leave my job. I was just very fearful of my position. I was never made to feel like I was good enough. It was always some issues. It went from professional to a personal attack on my character and my work ethic and my integrity. The last thing she did kind of took it from the office to the street, I felt. And all I knew to do was just put my head down and close my eyes. And so when I opened my eyes, I just stood up. And my plan was to jet out the door. But before I could even get out the door, I was like, I quit. And I just walked out and closed the door. And I went back to my desk and I said, oh my God, I just quit my job. I don't have anything else lined up. And I'm like, Jesus, what is going on? And he just began to reveal, the prophecy and how he had been showing me different signs throughout that time frame. I'm just in what I felt was complete turmoil. I was freaking out. I'm like, I may never have a decent meal again. I gotta eat good while I can. So I just started eating anything in sight. I'm like, I may be eating ramen in the next month. I'm sitting in my house in the dark, trying to preserve energy, because I was trusting him, but I wanted it in my timing. I knew he would come through because, Pastor had prophesied, but I just wanted it in my timing. During that time, the only person I really could rely on was God. And even though I could see the signs, I just felt uneasy because I wanted him to immediately just open that new career door, and it wasn't working like that. And all I could do was just continue to trust him because so many people were looking at me. In 3 weeks after my last day, I had 2 job offers. And I didn't have to take a pay cut, and they both wanted me really bad. And I was just so shocked that, God had worked in that way. We have to know who we are and whose we are. And I always relied on the who we are in God. And God has just reaffirmed who I am in him, and that I can, by faith ask things in his name and they shall come to pass. So I really thank God for a great faith, because I'm just ready to take on the world. Just knowing God has my back, I'm like, there's nothing that's impossible or too hard for God.